Globalization and Trade. There was a time when most regions were economically self-sufficient. Locally produced foods, fuels, and raw materials were generally processed for local consumption. Trade between different regions was quite limited. Today, the economies of most countries are so interconnected that they form part of a single interdependent global economy. Globalization is an elimination of barriers to trade, communication, and cultural exchange. The theory behind globalization is that worldwide openness will promote the inherent wealth of all nations. Globalization is the free movement of people, goods, and services across boundaries. This movement is managed in a unified and integrated manner. Further, it can be seen as a scheme to open the global economy as well as the associated growth in trade. Hence, when the countries that were previously shut to foreign investment and trade have now burned down barriers. According to most scholars and researchers, it is the modern age which led to the origin of globalization. In this age, widespread development took place in the field of infrastructures and connectivity. However, there are some scholars who point out that the origin of the history of globalization can be traced back to the ancient civilization. Scholars who advocate this theory say that the example of the earliest forms of globalization is the trade links between the Sumerian civilization and the Indus Valley civilization in the 3rd millennium BC. Global trade. Global trade is a result of uneven distribution of materials and resources across the world. No single country has everything it needs, and so countries need to trade with each other. Countries that rely on each other to trade goods and services are interdependent. Sometimes countries group together to help increase the volume of trade. The European Union is one example of a trading group, India and globalization. India had the distinction of being the world's largest economy in the beginning of the Christian era, as it accounted for about 32.9% share of the world GDP and about 17% of the world population. The goods produced in India had long been exported to far-off destinations across the world, and the concept of globalization is wholly new to India. The wake of globalization was first felt in the 1990s in India. The Indian government initiated the economic liberalization plan. Since then, India has gradually become one of the economic giants in the world.